Welcome to Blinks. The buyer starts registration by entering company, contact, and account details, beginning the onboarding process on Blinks. Blinks then requests the required company documents, including tax and commercial registration information, so the buyer profile can be reviewed, verified, and activated securely. Once the account is ready, the buyer signs in and enters the Blinks workspace, where sourcing activities can be managed. From the dashboard, the buyer can create events, manage existing sourcing activity, and follow orders. To start a new requirement, the buyer opens the event creation flow and selects the preferred setup method. Blinks guides the buyer through a structured setup. The event is named, assigned to a category, supported with a clear description, and enriched with attachments so suppliers understand the requirement before bidding. The buyer defines the full live event schedule, including the start date, event duration, expected award date, purchase order timing, and extra time rules that extend bidding when rankings change near the deadline. Commercial terms are configured next, covering currency, minimum bid decrement, payment method, VAT handling, payment conditions, and whether the order will be delivered or picked up. The buyer adds the sourced items, quantities, units, target price, and historical spend, giving suppliers a clear and comparable pricing baseline. Suppliers can be invited directly from the registered Blinks network. The buyer can review relevant suppliers and add them to the event in bulk, saving time while expanding competition. If a supplier is not yet registered on Blinks, the buyer can still invite them manually or through bulk upload. The platform highlights approval timing, helping the buyer schedule the event realistically and avoid last-minute supplier onboarding delays. All invited suppliers are consolidated in one list, allowing the buyer to confirm participation coverage and make final adjustments before the event is published. Before submission, the buyer defines the evaluation scorecard. In this demo, price carries the highest weight, while delivery is also included, ensuring the award decision reflects both cost efficiency and operational fit. Blinks presents the final event summary for review. The buyer checks the setup, confirms the invited suppliers and terms, then submits the event to launch supplier participation. Back on the dashboard, notifications keep the buyer updated on event reminders, supplier invitation responses, submitted bids, and order status changes, creating real-time visibility across procurement activity. Inside the event page, the buyer can move between summary, live event, conditions, and awards. This gives a complete view of supplier participation, bid activity, commercial terms, and final decision steps. The conditions screen captures each supplier's response to the commercial terms, including payment conditions, warranty, and expected delivery date. When suppliers request modifications, the buyer can review every proposed change, compare it against the original requirement, and accept or reject it before the auction progresses. This keeps negotiations structured and auditable, while ensuring that suppliers are aligned on the terms before price competition begins. When the live event starts, supplier bids appear in real time. The buyer can follow price movement on the chart, view supplier rankings in the bidder table, and see updates reflected immediately as suppliers compete. Blinks turns the auction into a transparent, trackable process, helping procurement teams monitor competition and understand how each new bid impacts the event outcome. Suppliers continue bidding. Blinks records every bid step, updates the ranking automatically, and calculates savings against reference prices. The buyer can monitor total price movement while also reviewing item-level details, giving procurement full visibility over both the commercial result and the underlying pricing structure. This helps the team identify the most competitive offer, track the progression of savings, and make a decision based on live data rather than manual comparisons. After bidding is complete, the buyer moves to the award stage. Blinks displays the ranked suppliers, last submitted bid values, and award options, allowing the buyer to choose the winning supplier and decide whether to create the purchase order immediately or at a later stage. Blinks converts the awarded bid into an order creation screen. Buyer details, supplier information, payment terms, order items, quantities, and final prices are brought together, reducing manual re-entry and helping the team move from sourcing to purchasing faster. The event list and award screen confirm the completed sourcing result, showing that the supplier has been awarded and the event has moved forward successfully. The buyer reviews the full order before placement, including supplier details, order items, attachments, totals, and purchase order information. Once everything is confirmed, the order can be placed directly from Blinks. The purchase order can then be printed or saved as a PDF, giving the buyer a formal document for sharing, approval, and internal records. This creates a clear handoff from the live sourcing event to procurement execution. After the order is placed, Blinks returns the buyer to the main workspace. The Events page provides a complete history of sourcing activity, including completed, in progress, expired, and canceled events, with clear actions available when an award or follow-up is required. The Orders page centralizes all purchase orders and their current status, helping the buyer track what has been placed, accepted, prepared, delivered, or completed, giving the buyer post-award visibility.
Thank you for your interest in Blinks. To learn more or schedule a walkthrough, please reach out to our sales team.